What is Quantum Illumination Reiki? Who is the original founder, creator, and channel of Quantum Illumination Reiki, and how does it differentiate between traditional styles of Reiki? What makes it different, and how does it support not just your own healing but also your ascension? So I want to dive into this. This is such a fun conversation. It has been a hot minute since we have dove into this conversation specifically. So if you are here watching live, make sure you come in, add a comment, say hey, let me know where you're from. If anything is resonating or if you have any questions as I am going through this, feel free to ask questions. This is how we learn and grow together, right? And so let's go ahead and dive in. So my name is Kristen Jones. I am the founder, creator, and channel of Quantum Illumination Reiki. And I want to tell you how this actually came into existence, into the 3D reality. And also, of course, I'm going to share with you the difference between traditional styles and QIR, as well as like the major benefits. So let's dive in. Okay. I actually started channeling Quantum Illumination Reiki in June of 2021 after an Akashic Records reading that blew my mind. Now, if you've ever had an Akashic Records reading, you know, like sometimes the information that comes through is like, what? Okay. Other times it's like, oh, that makes sense. And it's kind of like, it's kind of like in words that you can't even explain, right? But I remember very specifically this Akashic Records reading in June of 2021. My dog's walking by my stand. I was like, please don't knock it over. Anyway, so I remember the specific reading that I had, and in this reading, she was like, you're here to bring a new style of Reiki out into the world. And I was like, what? Me? Okay. So at that point, you know, I already had my healing business. I had transitioned my business from what I had been doing with like health and fitness, mindset coaching, life coaching, into spiritual life coaching and spiritual coaching. And it has evolved, like permission to evolve as you grow and evolve, right? And so it had evolved from that point. I had been trained in a couple other styles at the master level of traditional styles of Reiki. And I was just like, okay, but how does that work? What do you mean I'm here to get this out into the world? And as she went ahead, as I continued to ask questions, I was like, okay, well, let me just sit with this because this is like a lot of information. But the information that came through was it's not about awakening, it was about ascending. And that it was going to be a style of Reiki in a way that the world had never seen before. And of course, I'm like, I'm just a woman that grew up in a Southwest Iowa, small town. You know, I'm a boy mom, I'm an Air Force wife, I've married my son. Oh my goodness. Mercury retrograde has got me talking in circles. Like, let me know if that's you too. We got this. So I married my high school sweetheart. Like, I'm just like, me? And then I was like, okay, I'm just going to let this be. Like, I fully trust whatever's meant to come through will come through. I fully trust whatever's meant to be will be. And I'm not going to force this. I'm just going to let this land. And when it did, I was actually very surprised. And the first key came in the next day. So for those of you that are in our certification program, this would be the second key that came in, was actually the first key that dropped in. And when I drew it, and then my hands started vibrating. And I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And I started utilizing it on myself. My kids and my husband were my guinea pig. And I decided, okay, I'm going to continue to let this come into what it is meant to be, and I'm not going to force this. And I thought it was going to come through in meditation. Now, I love to meditate. I feel like there's so much value in it, and you already know because I'm sure that you meditate as well. It's actually something I require in our certification program, is meditation of some form. It doesn't have to be the traditional rigid way, or like the very masculine way of like sitting down and meditating. There's a million different ways that you can meditate. But it actually came through. I thought it was going to come through in like the traditional way of the very masculine way of like sitting down and meditating, and that's actually not how it came through. It came through in a ways of living my life, and they started trickling in throughout the course of several months. I started getting like a couple keys here and there, and I was also receiving the information of the benefits of what it was doing, how it was supporting, and then I would use it on myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, this is actually what's happening. And then I would use it on my husband and my kids. I'm like, hey, do you feel this? Like, and my poor family, they were just my guinea pigs the entire time. And then in, I want to say December of 2022, I had most of the keys, but my spirit team came through and they were like, going forward, you are to only be using this style of Reiki, your style of Reiki, no other styles of Reiki weaved in, because I had been using the other styles that I was a master in, or am a master in, and Quantum Illumination Reiki weaved into it to create transformations, but they were like, no more. And I was like, okay, cool. So I reached out. This was the very first time that I had launched the Rising Phoenix, and I reached out to my clients in there and I was like, hey, we're going to be doing Reiki sessions every month inside of our program. Are you good with me using my style of Reiki? And they were like, obviously, yes. Obviously, yes. And so I also started reaching out to my clients and I was letting them know, hey, this is the style of Reiki that I'm going to be using going forward. Are you good with that? And every single one of them was an overwhelming yes. I was like, cool, we're going to do this. And at the time I was calling it intuitive quantum healing because the name was literally the last thing that came through. I'm just like, I don't know what to call this, but it's not traditional styles of Reiki. We're doing something that is not typical. I'm going to call this intuitive quantum healing for now. And then when the name comes through, it'll come through. So I want to say, and this was around the same time that I went through like a massive transition in my healing business. And I had to kind of like step back. It's kind of like, you know, when you have a bow and arrow and you pull the bow back because you have to go back to launch forward. That's exactly what I feel was happening. And I was doing a lot of healing during this time. I was reaching out to healers across the world. I was actually going through like a full-on tower moment, like something pretty extreme happened inside of my healing business, and it required me to take time for me. And I was still taking care of my clients. I was still working inside of my business. I believe that it gets to be both. It doesn't have to be or. Even as a healer, I believe like as I'm healing, I can create the lessons to be able to provide to those in our community to really be able to support you on your journey. So I was hiring healers across the world. I hired high-level mindset coach. I re-signed with my strategy coach, my business coach, and I was blown away because it was at the time that I actually did a subconscious reprogramming session with rapid resolution therapy, which blew my mind so much that I was like, I have to get trained in this, which I did. And now I integrated into the coaching side of my company. But after that specific session, it was shortly thereafter, literally the rest of the keys came in, the frequencies to go along with them, the manual, all the information that I needed for the certification program came in, and I still didn't have the name. And that was in, I want to say it was like February 2023. Later on that year, probably about 9 months or so later, the name dropped in of Quantum Illumination Reiki, and I went ahead and I got it trademarked immediately and submitted it for trademark. Now that process takes forever. So if you're thinking about trademarking something to protect your brand, absolutely just go do it because it takes a minute to do. I submitted in October of 2023 and it didn't fully register until April of 2025, just to give you an idea. So I thought I was going to launch our certification program in March of 2024, but it actually was March of 2025. We had a major transition for our family. My husband, like I said, is in the Air Force, and we got surprise orders and an assignment, a new job opportunity for my husband, where he was selected to be a training instructor for the Air Force. And so we moved to South Central Texas. And once I got settled and really anchored in to our new area, then we went ahead and launched our certification program. So that is a little bit of the background of Quantum Illumination Reiki, a little bit of the history of it. And it came through, like, I vividly remember when a chunk of the keys had come through. It was like, I don't remember what year it was, possibly 2022. And I just remember it being like kind of a chilly fall day. We were stationed in South Dakota, which is like one of my favorite places ever. And we had just come back from one of the cutest towns called Hill City. And when we got back, I vividly remember like sitting on, like at our table. My husband was walking back and forth, like checking on the smoker, cooking dinner, and looking over my shoulder, watching me like download all of these keys and frequencies. It wasn't during meditation. And so, yeah, it came through in a way that I couldn't have even imagined. And I remember vividly when Quantum Illumination Reiki came in, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this it? This is it. And I remember like dancing around through the house. I was like, okay, we've got it. It's come through. So yeah, that is some of the history of Quantum Illumination Reiki. And I want to also just like, something that's coming through right now for me to share with you is, where is it that you are forcing something to come through in a specific way when it actually needs to come through and surrender? It is truly surrender and a trusting the process. And not everything has to be a 4-year process, though. Like, sometimes we have a work of art that comes through that is just like our maybe it's your legacy. Maybe it's a program that requires even more depth than what you can create in 3 months, right? And so let it be. Let it be where it is. There are so many times where I have something come through and I'm like, boom, let's go. Like, let me like download, let's get this out into the world. And there are other times where it's like, actually, this just needs time to simmer. Let me put this on the shelf in a place where it's visible and it's in the forefront of my mind. And I'm going to allow this to come through when it's meant to come through, right? Okay. So let me know how that lands. Okay, so let's dive into what is Quantum Illumination Reiki and what is the difference between traditional styles of Reiki as well. And so Quantum Illumination Reiki is the newest, most powerful style of Reiki to date. And it is a multidimensional frequency that taps into higher vibrations while also anchoring into the planet. And instead of it being here for awakening, like traditional styles of Reiki, it is really to help the ascension of the planet. So with traditional styles of Reiki, let me just share with you a little bit of information about traditional styles of Reiki, and then also the difference with Quantum Illumination Reiki. So traditional styles of Reiki typically vibrate between 3.5D to 4.5D max. They work at the physical, conscious, and energetic levels. They typically work within the 7 main chakra system. I mean, there's hundreds of styles of Reiki to date now, and so, you know, I don't know what all of them do, but it's very common for them to work within the 7 main chakra system. I just got totally sidetracked because there's a fighter jet flying above me, 2 of them. Oh my gosh, I love this. Sound of freedom, you guys. Just when we thought that we wouldn't have the sound of freedom with the B1s, can you hear them? For those of you that are OGs, you remember the B1. I'd be sitting outside in our house in South Dakota, and I'd be like, please hold for the sound of freedom. Okay, I digress. Okay, so traditional styles of Reiki, 3.5D to 4.5D max, working within the 7 main chakra system, working at healing at the physical, conscious, and energy levels. We're also the channel and the vessel for the beautiful life force energy. So what this means is like we're opening up our crown chakra, we're calling in the beautiful life force energy. It's going into our crown, our third eye, down into our arms, our hands, and then out to our clients. And then we're also utilizing a distance symbol and drawing the symbols as we are sending them, right? And so with Quantum Illumination Reiki, we are working at 5D plus frequencies. Yes, we're working with, or we're healing the physical, conscious, and energy levels, but also we're healing at the subconscious, cellular, and DNA levels. We are, yes, working with the 7 main chakra system. That is actually the first part of the healing frequencies that you learn. And then I call it the sound of freedom, Carrie. I'm like, BRB, sound of freedom. So yes, we're working within the 7 main chakra systems. That is actually part of the first part of the program, level 1 and 2 that you learn. And then we dive into the higher chakras. So we tap into the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th chakras. We're also, when I say we're working at the subconscious level, what I mean by this, when we're working at the subconscious, cellular, and DNA level, what I mean by this, and how do we even know that this is possible, right? So with traditional styles of Reiki, when we do those sessions for our clients, we have to coach them through what it is that's coming up for them. So we know that that traditional styles of Reiki help our clients feel good, aligned, happy, right? And then we coach them through the things that have been underlying based on what it is that they have been through recently, so that it can come into their awareness. With Quantum Illumination Reiki, every single key heals at a subconscious level. There is a specific key that heals even deeper into the subconscious mind, which is in level 3. So for those of you that are signed up for level 3, I can't wait for this one. Oh my gosh, it is a game changer. So how we know this works at a subconscious level is during the sessions, people will have immediate aha moments. Even during sessions, I will have clients that are like, can I talk? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely you can talk. And they'll start processing what's coming to the forefront of their mind, what's going from the subconscious to the conscious mind. So what it's doing is it's taking the subconscious, it's flipping it to the conscious awareness. So now they are aware of the things that had been coming up for them recently, what it is that they are ready to heal, clear, and release so they can step in their power. So what this is doing is it's putting them back into their power. And this happens, I say, typically within the first 48 to 72 hours after a session. So during and up to 72 hours after a session, I always am like, pay attention to the thoughts that are coming up, the aha moments, the synchronicities, because this is literally all part of the Quantum Illumination Reiki continuing to do that work for you. We're also not using a distance symbol. When we're using a distance symbol, this is assuming that there is a doorway between ourselves and someone else that we are healing, no matter where they are in the world. So for example, I know Selena is in Germany. I can literally just be like, hey, Selena, and send her the frequency. I can think about Selena and send her the frequency. I don't need a doorway in order to connect with them. Why? Because time and space is an illusion. Everything is energy. Energy is everything. So if we are utilizing a distance symbol, that is a very 3D concept, because we now know that time and space is an illusion. Everything is energy. Energy is everything, and it's in everyone. So we can literally just think about someone and be able to send that frequency to them. Selena even works when I'm sleeping. Yes. The amount of sessions that we've done when she's sleeping. And then we're no longer channeling the life force energy. So again, this just feeds off of what I just said, where if everything is energy and energy is everything, we don't have to channel. It is literally all around us all the time. So Quantum Illumination Reiki works within the energy and the frequency of the quantum field. So we can just grab the beautiful life force energy and be able to apply it to our clients, whether they are in Washington, hey Christiane, whether they are in North Dakota, hey Michelle, wherever you are in the world, it doesn't matter. And it's simple. So the way that I teach is through fun, flow, play, and ease. Instead of being able to channel the life force energy, we're simply just grabbing it and being able to send it to our clients. Carrie, I see it. Do you? I'm not sure what you see what. Okay, so with Quantum Illumination Reiki, we're working within the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th chakras as well. So what this means is that we are healing at higher frequencies, we are reaching deeper depths, and we are creating transformations that are quick, they are lasting, and they are gentle to the nervous system. Not once has anyone ever told me that they have had a dark night of the soul from Quantum Illumination Reiki. Not once has anyone had a tower moment or had it be super jarring to the nervous system. It is very soothing to the nervous system. If we have over 100 testimonials over the last couple of years, we have clients or students all over the world going through the certification program that have been also learning Quantum Illumination Reiki, and no one is experiencing any of like that Reiki purge, the Reiki flu. And I just posted about this the other day. Like, we need to stop glamorizing that it requires like pain. Like, let me say that differently. We need to stop glamorizing pain as a portal to ascension, because it doesn't have to be that way. And with the consciousness of the collective continuing to awaken, with the frequency of the planet continuing to rise, we have access to higher and higher frequencies. That means two things. One, what got us here won't get us there. What got us here won't get us there. It's requiring higher and higher frequencies. The other part of this is, if we have access to all of these higher frequencies, it gives us this opportunity to be able to heal at depths that we've never healed at before, because it is required for that next evolution of our planet, which I love for us. I love for you. And I just love for the world. And I love having these kinds of conversations with other healers in the industry that are also doing this kind of work. Like, even the woman that did my Akashic Records reading, Susie, I'm trying to remember. I know it's on my podcast. I think it's on my Instagram as well. I'm pretty sure that I kept it there too. But she was even talking about this. We didn't even have this conversation, but she was like, yeah, there are souls that come in this lifetime to get higher frequencies out into the world and to be able to support that evolution on our planet. And I was actually reading one of my friend Leanne's posts this morning, actually, when I opened up the Instagram app. I was like, actually, hold on. When I opened up the app, I was like, oh my gosh, she's talking about the same exact conversation, which I absolutely love. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. And I'm just scrolling through here. Okay. I am also blown away by the transformations that our students are having throughout our certification program. Even in level 1, I remember even as we have new students going through the certification program as well, even in the first training that doesn't even give you the first key yet, I teach you the depths of how to tap into the energy and the frequency of the quantum field with ease. And the transformations are mind-blowing, like deep inner child healing that, you know, you guys are already doing the inner child healing work, and they keep coming up, and it keeps coming up. And some things, yes, come in layers, but the depth of the healing that would come up is amazing. Accessing past lives, for example, feeling lighter, clearer, more connected to your spirit team, to your higher self, to your soul self, already activating your personal soul codes. And that was before we even started with the first key. And I saw Michelle here say, oh, I'm so stoked. Yeah. It's got me working through the stuff I am forcing. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like in the past, it was like this constant, where is this coming from? And then, you know, you just kind of wait. With Quantum Illumination Reiki, we're able to access that with ease, which I think is so amazing. Okay. Any questions? So Quantum Illumination Reiki, one of the questions that I get is, what is the lineage? So a couple things, like, from like a 3D perspective, then also like, where does it originate from? So 3D perspective, like when we talk about lineage within Reiki, that is the original person that created and channeled, or who is the founder of Quantum Illumination Reiki. And that is me, and that will stay with me. And then we do have level 3, the opportunity to be able to teach Quantum Illumination Reiki. So then they'll be able to teach it as well. And then as far as the lineage, so Quantum Illumination Reiki originates from, it is Pleiades and Arcturian. I felt the nudge to start writing Weight of the World. I love this. So something I didn't tap into was the higher chakras. So yes, the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th chakras. What does that even mean? This means we are tapping into your soul's wisdom blueprint. We are able to easily heal the karmic patterns and the cycles that happen. We are able to tap into the galactic frequencies. We are anchoring in the 5D plus frequencies and all of the higher chakras into the human experience. There's a lot of different chakra systems that are used, and with Quantum Illumination Reiki, we use the one that also anchors into the human experience. I've said this all along, and I loved when this was channeled through with Quantum Illumination Reiki. Like, you're a high vibrating soul having a human experience. Like, we need to anchor into the human experience, right? We have this beautiful opportunity to experience all of these beautiful things that life has to offer us. And so when you are in Quantum Illumination Reiki, we also anchor this into planet Earth through very grounding frequencies as well. No questions, but having a time jump moment. Like, I've been here before. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love this. Michelle, you felt that too. Oh my gosh, I love this. I felt the nudge to start writing The Weight of the World. Yeah. And what I find is so amazing is that everything. I had something come through, in that like you're not awake, but you're not asleep moment. So I've been having a lot of releasing and shedding this week as we are in like the thick of Mercury retrograde, right? And I don't give my power away to planets. Like, welcome to the corner of the internet where we give our power away to nothing and no one, because you are the mother effing power. And also, like, sometimes it just comes through and it just like is shedding, like it's shedding, right? And so I've been doing that a lot this week, and I've been letting go of or releasing or cutting ties with certain offers or programs, or even creating boundaries within my personal life and business and people, and just like all the things, right? All the things that we have this opportunity to do. And then when I did this yesterday, and I also believe that you get to heal quickly. Like, it is such a misconception that it takes months or years to heal. Now, it's not right or wrong. It's not good or bad. It was what it was, and for what the planet needed at that time. But now, because we have access to such high frequencies, it's just not the reality anymore. And so I shedded. And then last night, I'm doing this work with you guys too, PS. Like, I had something come through about Quantum Illumination Reiki. I'm not saying it yet. And also about another program that I would actually, a couple different programs, but I was just like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Didn't see it coming at all. And I had a moment of grief actually yesterday because I knew it was time to release. And then literally an hour and a half later, the next level came in, and I was like, oh my God, not with Quantum Illumination Reiki, but with something else. But last night, as I was like in that in-between stage before I fell asleep, one of my soul codes, like, boom, came on. And I was like, whoa, okay. And I was having downloads before my meditation this morning. I was like, okay, we're doing this. You have access to so much more wisdom, and when you are tapping into higher frequencies, it comes in with ease. It comes in with ease. It comes in with ease. I'm learning so much about moving old money beliefs out. Yes. And also, Rachel, I am dying to do a live with her. I am going to try to schedule something with her as well. We did an IG live, I want to say in March, maybe in April. And I was talking to her yesterday, and I was just like, she's in our level 2. She signed up for level 3. What she is doing, like, her soul code came in literally at the end of May. She had a situation where she was leaving the company that she had been working for. She was going through like this deep healing of money wounds, and now she has she alchemized it so fast. Now in the last month, she has been offering 2 to 4 sessions a week. She's been having insane opportunities with variety of different jobs that have been coming through for her, as far as interviews. And she's also, in her sessions, she's opening up abundance portals. One of her codes is something around abundance and money portals. It is the most insane thing. So when you're tapping into these higher frequencies, you have this opportunity to be able to alchemize lower frequencies in a way that's gentle to your nervous system as you step even more into your power. And what happens when you do this is that because those lower frequencies are alchemizing in a way that's gentle to your nervous system, you're opening up your channel for abundance, for clarity, for joy, to your soul codes with ease. You're accessing them with ease. So you guys have any questions I can answer for you before we hop off? If you are just yeah, the thing that I want to leave you with is, if you have been feeling like there's something more than Reiki, you're right. If you have been feeling like there's something missing, there's gotta be something more than this, you're right. If you've been feeling I feel like there's an opportunity for me to heal at deeper depths, you're right. And this is exactly where Quantum Illumination Reiki comes in. So our founders opportunity is open, and we're taking our first 50 healers as founders. And this means that you are amongst the first in the world to get certified and trained in Quantum Illumination Reiki. Also means a special founders opportunity pricing. And we'll also have on the website listing all of our founding healers as well, as amongst the first in the world to learn Quantum Illumination Reiki. Level 1 is the foundation of Quantum Illumination Reiki. And level 2, we take it up to higher frequencies. Level 3 is the teacher level, and that completes the 8th, 9th and 9th chakras. We do the 10th and 11th in level 2 at the last couple of lessons, and then level 3 we dive even deeper, and we talk about, and I teach you alchemy, basic alchemy, utilizing Quantum Illumination Reiki. So DM me Quantum, I'll send the information your way, and we can chat about the details. I hope you guys have the most amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.